Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, but for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. When I say the name Stacy Keach, you probably have your favorite television show or film that comes to mind. For me, I grew up with Mike Hammer, but over the decades, he's played characters that people have gotten to know and love from shows like Prison Break and Blue Bloods and NCIS. But for now 15 seasons, he's been the voice of a show that all of us love to be able to watch, and that's on CNBC. We're talking about American Greed. It's back now. We're going to talk to Mr. Keach not only about his amazing career, but also about this season of the show and what he's looking forward to. Mr. Keach, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Nice to be with you.
Oh, the pleasure's definitely all mine. And I just have to say, my mom is so jealous I get to talk to you because, as I said, Mike Hammer was a character I enjoyed being able to watch. And then, of course, being able to see you in so many different roles over the years. You've made such an impact in front of the camera, as you know, on television and film. What has it been like for you, though, to see the response to American Greed?
Well, you know, I've enjoyed doing American Greed. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. American Greed, I love doing it because for me it's a combination of entertainment, because I think our stories are very much, they're ripped right out of the headlines. They're crime stories in our genre, thrillers, and it's also a public service because we're telling people, be careful. If something sounds too good to be true, as in many of our stories, that was the situation. Be careful, watch out, it probably is too good to be true.
Yeah. So
I love doing the show for those reasons. I mean, it gives me a chance to explore the dark side of humanity and also the good side, the upside. The people who are victimized are often very interesting and very charismatic people, as well as the investigators and, of course, the criminals themselves. Many times are fascinating individuals, even though they're sociopathic and they're criminals. Sometimes they're very, very interesting to watch. For example, next week we're going to be talking about Elizabeth Holmes, who is just in the news today and today. So she's, and I think there's something in me that believes that she really, when she started out to do something good.
Right.
I think she really did. And a lot of people start out that way, and then they get hooked on making more money, and then the aspects of living the high life, the rich lifestyle, the boats, the planes, the exclusive hotels and travel, and it becomes addictive. People get addicted to want more. They need more. It's never enough.
And Mr. Keach, I have to say, American Greed, to me, fits, what we've gotten to see from you so perfectly, because we kind of see you as that person trying to steer us away, from wrong. And you've been able to play these characters, as I mentioned, over the years, that one thing a lot of them have in common is you've been the good guy. You've been that person who's kind of been the voice for us. When you first, heard about this show, did it appeal to you from the very beginning?
Yes, it did right away. I was immediately attracted to it, and I was very surprised after the first season. Well, I shouldn't say that. Toward the end of the first season, we began to realize that there were many stories out there because there's no end to greed.
Right.
And I suspect there, even though we're in our 15th season, I think that even beyond the end of American Greed, the show, there will be American Greed, the reality, I'm sure.
Yeah. such a great point. And again, it's a show that people of different generations, as with your other work, have been able to gravitate to. You mentioned Elizabeth Holmes, and it's interesting y'all are hitting such a milestone, of course, with that particular episode, your 200th episode. That story has fascinated the world, right? And people, as you said, looked at her and her beginnings, and then, of course, now as we're beginning this new year where things were, I think it really is a cautionary tale for us all. For yourself, as you've kind of gone through your career, one of the things, of course, you focus on with American Greed is the success. What has it been like for you, though, to keep your success and keep your place in check? I mean, what has that been like for you? And knowing that all that you've been able to do, what is it do you think has kind of kept you grounded?
Well, I have a wonderful. Thank you for that question. I have a wonderful family. I'm very, very blessed in that respect, and I think that's kept me grounded more than anything else. And I've been very fortunate in being able to balance my love for the theater with my love for television and movies. And this past year, with my dear wife Malgosia, who we've been married for 35 years now, we formed a company to Zoom plays on computer, given the fact that the theaters were closed and the were out of work, free of charge. We didn't charge anything. We were just donations only through the Actors Fund. And we're still going to be Zooming some plays as time goes on. So I think that in response to your question, being able to continue to work, to function, and work as an artist is very important for me to keep me grounded. But it's really my family. But they're
I would just. I'm sorry, Mr. Keach, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, because of what you've been able to do and those lives you've been able to impact, it really has made an impact on so many others, including myself. And I said, so many people over the years have gotten to know you and love your work and to love your dedication to your work. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us. I also want to remind our audience to make sure you guys are tuning in for the milestone 200th episode on January the 12th, as you heard Mr. Keach mention, of course, featuring Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes. Again, Mr. Stacy Keach has been our guest of our program today. Mr. Keach, thank you so much for dropping by. I really do appreciate the time.
Thank you, Cyrus.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live here on your community station, WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.